It's Indiana in the Morning, and it's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. Information presented on this program is believed to be factual and up to date, but we do not guarantee its accuracy, and it should not be regarded as a complete analysis of the subjects discussed. Discussions and answers to questions do not involve the rendering of personalized investment advice, but are limited to the dissemination of general information. A professional advisor should be consulted before implementing any of the options presented. Encompass More Asset Management is registered as an investment advisor with the SEC and only transacts business in states where it is properly registered or is excluded or exempted from registration requirements. Registration with the SEC does not imply a certain level of skill or training. And there they are, the boys from GCES joining us this morning. GCES. Clint and Smith, Clint and Galen Bargerstock with us here this morning. It is the voice of Indiana County. We talk a little bit of investment and retirement services with GCES a couple of times each month. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you both with us here today as we think about the things. I had somebody who wanted me to ask you this specific question. Inflation, especially over the last 3 or 4 years, has really skyrocketed. Things cost a whole lot more now. How should that inform our retirement plans? Should it inform it at all, or should we just ride it out for the long run, Galen?
No, I think we're all in it together. I mean, at this point when you're investing, it seems like the stock market is going up. You know, it did fantastic again, but bond prices went down, inflation went up. At the end of the day, you really have to decide what stage of life you're in, whether you're still building a little bit, because you do have to ride it out. And if you want to have some sort of protection because you are retiring, you could go into something like a fixed indexed annuity. They have riders, income riders on them that do have inflation adjustment built in, so you have a little bit of protection in the future. Mm-hmm. So you know that you're going to have a monthly income for the rest of your life, and you're also going to head for inflation inside of that with that income going up over the years.
So as we are approaching retirement, it might be a different answer to that question
Correct.
than if we are in our 20s or 30s.
Yeah. It really, everything revolves around risk and what you're willing to risk for the reward of getting the return back. Because if you're willing to go a little bit heavier on investments and play the market a little bit higher, then you have the potential to, go well and above inflation and not have to worry about it. It's just if you're not risky and you play it safe with CDs or bonds, stuff like that, you're really fighting a game there.
Do you find that people are fearful about that topic right there? Because either because they're not as educated or as knowledgeable as they might be had they been involved in the game a little bit longer, or because it's just something that's out there all the time and it's on their minds now, and of course it costs me more to get a gallon of milk now than it did a year ago, and why would it not affect me?
Honestly, I think that inflation, it comes up just about every 4 years. Every time there's an election, I think people are a lot more worried and looking at that a lot more now. Election years are usually difficult years. There's a lot of uncertainty. People aren't sure what they want to, whether they're on either side, whatever side you're on, whatever side you're picking, doesn't matter. Everyone's still kind of hesitant to make choices right before an election happens. And honestly, we talk about inflation. We've talked about it the last couple of years, but it's something that I think is on top of people's mind because it's something that's coming up constantly on, what the economics are like right now in the country. And a lot of people are basing their decision off of that and waiting until the election's over.
Let me ask you this and see if I can phrase it the way that it's going through my brain, because it's probably going through my main brain differently than my tongue will translate. But when we think about inflation and we think about issues such as that and that volatility, we hear all the time about, somebody that's in the market, they can take advantage of an up market or a down market, of whether prices are high or prices are low. If they're smart, they can figure that out. Does it work that way in retirement as well, retirement savings?
I mean, you could do market timing if you're, a DIY retirement person. I mean, really, if you're watching it that close every day and you know what you're doing, well, more power to you. But the average person has absolutely no idea what's going on. So you kind of have to just trust your advisor and rely on a little bit of information that we give, because at the end of the day, I have to do what's right for you as a person, and it doesn't matter how it affects me at all. So no matter what, you're going to get the straight answer of what you should do. And I honestly believe it's mostly risk. If you can accept a little bit of risk, I have some accounts that are averaging great numbers right now, with low risk.
Yeah. We have, it's weird to see, we have clients, Connecticut, Massachusetts, West Virginia, the people in West Virginia are a lot differently than the people in Massachusetts and around Boston. But we've noticed that people that actually, they're very different, accent, everything.
The accent's different, but little pockets all over, the United States. I can tell, it's how everybody was raised in a certain area. And Pennsylvania is definitely its own entity. Everybody was pretty much raised with the same morals and guidelines. And, people want to save and make as much money as they can. But what I see is people don't really want to engage in taking that income off of their investments. They would rather leave that to their children, which is a spectacular thought. But life insurance is a better vessel. So there's always like new conversations with the way the world's turning now.
Yeah, so the approach itself can be regional.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but we've seen people that, like in Massachusetts, they're actually willing to engage in the risky side of things. So we'll see people there with a lot more money by retirement. For federal employees, it's the G fund, the government fund, government bonds and stuff like that. You're guaranteed to never lose any money. But on average, it makes like maybe 1% to 2% a year.
About 2.5%.
But other people in riskier funds can make much higher returns. And then by the time they get to retirement, because they've engaged in that risk throughout their career, have a lot more money when they actually get to retirement rather than playing it safe the whole time.
Yeah. Galen, a couple of moments ago, you said, people who DIY their retirement. I take it that the more knowledge you have, the better you are. And maybe you would have a better chance if you're a dabbler. But for the most part, dabbling is not the best way to approach retirement savings.
No.
That's where GCES comes in.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of fresh in my mind because we just talked about it a couple days ago somewhere else. But to me, the DIY, it's great. And maybe you do understand everything that you have going on in your household. But you have to think of it, not just you, but you have to think of it about your spouse. What's going to happen if you're the one that passes away and you know everything and the spouse knows nothing about the financial stuff? Well, what's going to happen now? So that's kind of where somebody like me comes into play, where both people can rely on me if somebody passes away, knowing that it's going to be handled the way it needs to be handled. And I don't step on anybody's toes. I mean, this stuff, if you can understand and wrap your head around it, that's great. But
it's great. But also, too, those people that are DIYing their retirement also don't have all the tools in their toolbox that they need to do it. So I would think of it like, my toolbox is basically one Tupperware container that has managed to like keep one hammer in it throughout the years, and that might be the case. Yes, it's cracked. It has like random screws in it.
Staples.
Yeah, some staples. But like, you have to look at it that way. Someone that's DIYing their retirement, they don't have all the tools available to them that we do. Do you know what I mean? They may be able to make changes, but they're not going to be able to like make huge changes or write their own products, or really know all of the tools that are available to them. So you can DIY your own retirement, but that's DIYing it yourself when there's a lot of other tools and things and products that you might not even know exist that we have available to us.
Duct tape only goes so far.
Yeah.
All right. Clint, you guys do a TV show.
Yeah.
And you've done some interesting episodes. In fact, you just finished up a round. So tell me about where folks might be able to see it and what they might be able to learn from in the latest episodes.
So it's called Our 2 Cents, which is kind of like a reference to whenever we did Facebook Live videos. We did like a Facebook Live video, one video a week for like a year. We called it Our 2 Cents. It was on Tuesdays at 2. This is called Our 2 Cents as well. Think of like a news format, but it's Galen and I discussing different topics that are related to retirement. We just finished recording our 12th episode. We go out to Phoenix. The company that produces it is out there. So we record all of our shows in Phoenix, and we're excited. It's going to be coming out within the next month and a half or so. We don't have an exact date yet, but once we do, we are going to have a release party, and do something somewhere and have a party for everyone to get together. Right now, from what we understand from our media buyer, it's going to be played after, Modern Family. And I believe it's going to be on NBC, but you did say it might be ABC. We're still in the, ironing the fine details out. That's not really our job to buy the media. We're just there to record the show and look pretty. So it went really good though.
smart.
Like,
You mean you might dress a little differently than
Yeah,
you do?
Yeah,
for
we,
this
yeah.
we
segment?
actually put suits on.
we're not on the way to the gym in the morning. Which reminds me, we did get a question last week. If you're still watching, we got the question online. Somebody was watching the videos and asked if we do personal training. We do not. We are just on the way to the gym. That's why we look like this.
So they can trail along behind you and do everything
Yes.
you do on whatever machines you're getting on.
Yeah, if you have questions, I can point you in the right direction. We just started working out 5 or 6 years ago, and there's some great gyms in town, and if you need help, we can point you in the right direction, but we do not do personal training.
Meanwhile, where you do very much good work is through the financial retirement planning field. So GCES, Galen, folks want to get involved. What should they do?
Give us a call, 724-915-0000, or look us up on the internet, www.gces.us.
Nice,
check.
you did a good job there. Usually,
Did I? Yeah, that's not really my question.
I'm glad you know our phone number.
I was watching Clint's face as that was going on. It was you registered actual disbelief there.
Yeah, it's like, oh wow, Andy knows our website.
I don't know our 800 number, though.
Yeah, that's fine.
Neither does Clint.
Yeah,
Hey guys, thanks so much.
thank you so much. Have a good week.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. Boomer Sports next.
This is Andrew Perloff with a Sports Minute sponsored by Fisher Investments. 2024 in golf was supposed to be the year of Scotty Scheffler. Instead, it's belonged to fellow American Xander Schauffele. Schauffele shot a 65 on Sunday to capture the Open Championship, his second major of the year. In the post-Tiger world, for better or worse, there's a galaxy of stars in golf. And right now, Schauffele is burning as bright as any of them. I'm Andrew Perloff.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.